Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of my film study series. Today we are taking a look at the quite interesting ability, Reach Elite. So obviously, yes, Reach Elite is a little bit different than Edge Threat. It looks a little bit the same, but Edge Threat does dominate pass rush moves from the edge, while Reach Elite goes ahead and is able to tackle / slack while engaged with blockers. Now, we talked about this last year because last year was actually pretty dang good. So I wanted to go ahead and test it out this year. So I do have it on LT. I also have it on T-Sizzle. I have it on Strahan. I also have it on Nick Boza, Bruce Smith, and Deacon Jones. So the cool thing about Reach Elite and the reason why I used to really like it, and it was kind of in the meta for like a week, was because of the fact of how cheap it actually is. I can get 6 different players with the same ability, while if I was to use, let's say, Man of KO, I could only get like 3 or 4 at max. So it's a little bit easier to get multiple players with the same exact ability. So let's go ahead and go online and see how good it actually plays. And let's watch film study. 1 second, guys. All right, so I wanted to do a couple different defensive fronts just so we can see a little bit more. But keep in mind, we're worrying about the defense alignment here. So worrying about 1, 2, and 3 on this play. So let's go ahead and see how they actually engage with the blockers. And again, the whole point of this, as I do mess up and I'm actually on Adams by accident, is not that they're supposed to get a dominant pass rush move or they're supposed to get an instant block shed. The whole point of this is that when they are closer to the quarterback, close to the running back, close to whoever, they should be able to actually make the tackle. So that is what we're really, looking towards. So I wanted to try out some different plays. First off, obviously that right there was more of just a cover 4 drop. Nothing special here. Right here, I think I actually have a cover 3 set up. So we go ahead and pause it right here. Go ahead and go back 1 play here. So we have what? 1, 2, and then we have 3, right? So we obviously have him dropping back in coverage. He gets off of his block and gets right toward the quarterback. Quarterback throws the ball down. Checks it down the right-hand side. He completes the ball. Again, it is kind of a lot harder to look at like defensive abilities when it comes to like Reach Elite because they don't activate every single play. And there's just a certain situation where, they will activate. So right here, for example, I am going ahead and putting a crazy blitz at this guy to see what I can get on him. And we end up getting him right away, causing a sack, causing a fumble, and getting the ball back. Again, like I said, let's go back to this play. Bam. And again, like I said, it's one of those things where we're gonna see some run plays moving forward here, but it's one of those things where it's like I do love the concept, and this actually is our second game we're playing because I first got actually ended up quitting. But I do like the concept of it, but it's just I don't know how much I really would get behind the idea of doing all Reach Elite. Maybe on 1 or 2 players, like on the defensive lineman, it's 2 ability points. Throw it on him, see what you can do. But you're not really going to see much when it comes to Reach Elite, rather than kind of the same concept with Man KO, where you're kind of looking at like, well, is this player just playing good? Or is this player just playing good because of Reach Elite? Or is he playing good because of the fact that, he's just a good player, right? So it kind of becomes that mental game of, did he just get that sack because of Reach Elite? And whenever the player is in the pocket, like for example, if a quarterback does go ahead and get sacked, where he gets sandwich sacked, or if a running back is running up the middle and he does get, sandwich tackled, or he gets grabbed, that's the type of stuff Reach Elite is actually activating. So if you keep going getting beat by inside zone, I might recommend going ahead and throwing it on one of your defensive linemen and then seeing what ends up happening. But I'm going to say overall wise, if I had to give my final verdict here, I have not seen much when it came to Reach Elite making my players play any different, any better, or getting any extra animations because of them having Reach Elite. And I'm not saying that they can't, because obviously they can. It's very possible for a player, Reach Elite to activate in a good situation. I just haven't seen it in the 4 or 5 games I played. And again, you're watching it right now with our film study. I just don't see it being that crazy. And again, like I said, it has to be a situational thing. It has to be like the quarterback sits in the pocket, moves up in the pocket, and that happens. And so far, everyone I played against, as you guys can see right here, is either going to be trying to roll out to the right-hand side, trying to throw the ball down the field, trying to be mobile with the quarterback. They're not really sitting to what Reach Elite would be great at. So, as you can see right here, bam, throws the ball down the field. Dots me to fluff up, by the way. Shout out to my mans here for dotting me up. I do believe I win this game no matter what, but shout out to him for the Todoroni right there. But this is actually when Reach Elite really comes in handy, right? Is because this is the goal line. Goal line, red zone. This is where the area where it's getting a little tighter. People like to run the ball more. People like to run up the middle with the quarterbacks. This is where it should work out a lot better. I will say the one thing is I'm noticing more and more playing online is people love to drop back like 30 yards before they throw the ball. I'm just a keynote here, and I'm learning this more when using Reach Elite, which is like obviously when you don't want someone to drop back 30 yards is when you're using Reach Elite. But right here, bam, all day to throw the ball, gets off his block, we get the interception, he drops it. What do you know? Rod Woodson, thank you, my man. Thank you, my man, for dropping that. But it does not look like my opponent is going to actually run the ball here. It looks like he's going to actually throw an interception. Can we say interception, boys? And that's going to be a Rod Woodson makeup play. Let's go. Let's go on to the next defensive play. And again, like I said, I'm trying not to blitz every single play, but I want to show off some blitzes. I think this is actually going to be a run play here. I actually messed up and was on the wrong player. But here's a good example. That's a good example of Reach Elite. So let's watch that back. So again, was this because Bruce Smith is actually a monster, or was this because of Reach Elite? Because according to Reach Elite, you can still make a tackle or a sack while engaged in a block. So right here, we have Reach Elite on Bruce Smith. He gets off that tackle and he gets right on the player and gets the tackle. So again, like I said, it's really situational based. So you can't really say, oh, if I put it on my defensive lineman, they're automatically going to play better, because it's all situational based. You can't really make up like, okay, this said play. Other than that one, this is one play the whole entire video so far that we saw it actually worked perfectly fine, right? And then right here, let's go ahead and watch this back. So it's a run, it's a counter, right? So he runs here. Now, technically speaking, according to Reach Elite, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have gotten him, right? I mean, the angle. Okay, Gronkowski was in the way on that. No, Casper was in the way on that play. But the idea is that he can make the tackle while still engaged in the block. Now, again, it's not perfect, right? Because if the angle doesn't work, well, he right there is not going to get the angle to tackle LT. He's not going to be able to. Now, if LT runs it to the right-hand side here, could he get through it? And as you can see right here, he sheds that block very quickly. Look at that. He sheds right through that block to get to LT, which would be Reach Elite, because he is shedding through a block where he is still blocking and can still make the tackle, right? And again, like I said, a lot of it comes down to, is it just Bruce Smith is an absolute god, or is it really come down to the fact that, that play worked out perfectly fine? Right? Or is Bruce Smith the god, or is Reach Elite actually the reason why it happened? And right here, I think he does throw a... Did he throw a touchdown? I think he throws a touchdown on me right here, which is not the greatest play of all time. I went ahead and got caught napping. I pressed on the cover 4. When you press on the cover 4, you're automatically going to go ahead and give up a big fat W. So let's go ahead and look at this, because this is now a key situation, right? He's at my 1 yard line, right? He's at my 1 yard line. And the situation here is we have what? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 right here. Reach Elites. So when they're engaged in a block, theoretically speaking, if the guy goes anywhere near them, they can make the tackle. So let's watch this play while it runs out here. So, bam. E. Right there. Now, that was just bad, I guess, bad play rec. Not really bad play rec, just he had the... Strahan had the chance there to make the play, and he kind of just got re-engaged with the block there and couldn't pull off the block to get LT. So again, key situation there where, again, it's just a bad play by Strahan. So you can't really say that was Reach Elite or was against Reach Elite, because it really does come down to a bad play by Strahan. And then right there, obviously, we get right to the quarterback. So overall wise, I'm going to give Reach Elite. Is it valuable? Is it worth putting on all your players? No. I don't think you should take up all the ability points of your team to use Reach Elite. Reach Elite is not that important. Now, could you throw it on 1, 2 of your defensive players just as a nice little extra touch? Sure. I don't see why there's a reason why you shouldn't have Reach Elite on one player, but I don't think it's going to really impact anything. It's not going to change a ball game. It's not going to make things work when, you know, they keep running inside zone against you. I think there will be times where your guy will get the tackle, but it will be far and in between where it won't be every single play, and you can't just dictate your game based on that. So with that being said, guys, comment down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.